They got all the cars off the road. The governor said everybody has to get off the road by 4 p.m. Everybody, I think, did that, and that's making the cleanup and the dig out much better than, for instance, in the blizzard of 78 when people got stuck coming home, cars were everywhere, and they couldn't plow the roadway. So that's going to help the cleanup once the storm ends, and they're going at it tonight here as best they can.
That this is cutting edge, reflecting the assumptions of fellow editors who feel guilty about the money that they make.
If we were able to be spared, and I know there's a lot of people struggling in the Northeast right now without power, if the city of Newark and surrounding environments get spared power outages, the real urgency then is to get this roads clear and safe so that as people begin to move about, we don't see the kind of accidents at all.
I'm innocent, and you can mark my words on that one. No jury will convict me.
If I did not know of her life before this murder, I might fall for it.
She has no hot water. Her stove is not hooked up. She can't wash and dry clothes. Like I said, it was nothing like this. I mean,
Earlier today in Falmouth, Maine, just a few miles outside of Portland, there it is right there, the massive pileup shut down Interstate 295. For a few hours, the state police worked to clear it. At least one person was taken to the hospital with minor injuries. The governor of Connecticut, as we just mentioned, Dan Malloy, governor of Connecticut, told drivers to get off the road. Only emergency vehicles are allowed. NBC's Ron Allen now with the very latest from Hartford.
Good evening, Craig. Every hour the conditions here have deteriorated, and state officials are anticipating the snow falling here at about 5 inches an hour into the night, and the winds picking up. When we were talking to the governor earlier today, he said that was one of his biggest concerns, gusting winds 30, 40 miles per hour sustained for a period of time, along with the snow. That's a blizzard, and that's what can cause the real problems here. They expect about 30% of the state to be knocked out of power, and that could go on for several days because some of the power lines will be buried. It will take some time to undig them. It will take some time before the workers can even get out there. They have hundreds of workers from other states as far away as Ohio, Michigan, North and South Carolina here to help. And the good news is that people seem to have been...
Brady Bunch. Different comic book.
But if they're going to do, I mean, if they were being honest, there should be a superhero that's an Occupy Wall Street protester, and he should have
to be of service during what will be a very long and difficult day.
Corey, I'm not going to keep you on the phone anymore then, because I know you have some sleep to get before this big day tomorrow, but I appreciate you picking up the phone at 3 in the morning to call us here at CNN. We appreciate that very much.
I appreciate that. CNN does an incredible job of keeping people aware of what's going on, and I just thank you in many ways. Media during storms, our first responders themselves, with information during these times is critical. So thanks, Corey.
Absolutely. We are here
I wish you all the best.
Thank you. Cory Booker on the phone with me, Newark, New Jersey mayor. Now, we have a couple of folks out and about here. Susan Candiotti is in Boston. We also have Allison Cossack in Manhattan, and we have Gary Tuckman in Staten Island. Also here in the Weather Center, Karen McGinnis. She's working the overnight hours right along with me, tracking the storm here in the Northeast. But let's begin with Susan Candiotti in Boston. Susan, how's it looking?
Good morning, Brooke.
Yeah, I guess it's morning now.
The last time that we were out here, that's right, it sure is, the wee hours up. But the last time we were speaking with you, Brooke, it was yesterday afternoon, and you could still see a bit of the grass, a mere dusting. But I can tell you the power then of the wind, it was so much more forceful then. The pellets seemed to almost be hitting your eyeballs. I mean, it stung. Now, when I came out a little while ago, it's still coming down, still moving sideways in every which way. But the winds do not feel as strong as they did early last evening. But the snow, oh yeah, it's piling up. I know you've been watching it all throughout the night. Yeah.
I noticed it was a guy, and I thought he was going somewhere because he looked like he had a purpose. So I stepped out of the way because I thought he needed to walk past me. But he stopped right in front of me and stuck his hand out and introduced himself.
You're right. That's a more problem.
In the last year, and over half said stress had kept them up at night. Oh, shut up. The head of the American Psychological Association, which produced the report, noted most of these young people have come out of college or grad school with horrendous student debt into a job market where there are not very many jobs. For more, let's...
105 servidores públicos y 220.
Of course, the shifting snow and the snow drifts that are going to be probably happening as the day goes on. Also, we've been very lucky here, never lost power, at least in this section of the city. All the lights are still on. You can see those beautiful blue lights over my shoulder. Put sort of a canopy
Snow's not
effect
that
here in
deep.
Columbus Park. And behind me, that's Quincy Market and Faneuil Hall and all the rest of it. You rarely see anyone walking by, but you do see a snowblower from time to time going around there. And some, of course, as you've been watching the plows on occasion, seeing those too. But I swear timing is everything, Brooke. Just before you came to me,
Who was this?
these three people are out for a stroll, and why not at 3 o'clock in the morning? I know you and Julian were trying to catch some people a few minutes ago. Now, these folks are joining us all the way from
D.C. D.C., yes.
Yeah, Arlington, Virginia. And it's not like they were here on a visit. They specifically came here because...
Listen, white knuckle from Providence to Boston.
So you guys just wanted to get a look at the...
We drove in this morning and took about 8 hours to get in today. Yes.
But only because you wanted to...
Just to witness the snow, the storm. We don't get any snow in D.C., so we have to witness it here, unfortunately.
Where are they from, Susan?
Now, do you have...
D.C.
Yeah, they're from D.C. and Virginia, right? You
Yes.
guys? Right,
Yes.
exactly. This one works for the fire department.
We all work for the fire department. Yes, yes.
Right. Now, where do you have a place to stay? Are you just sleeping in the car? I'm afraid to ask.
Hotels, yes. We actually got hotels. Yes.
I'm glad to hear that at the very least. Well, it is something for the record books, or might be one for the record books.
Hopefully.
What is it like to experience this as you're walking around?
It's awesome. The wind is that's the best part of this, is the wind. It's lightened up a little bit, but it's going to get going later on. And the accumulation, you just can't beat this. You're in Boston, the best city in the country, and you got the winds, and it's wonderful. You can't beat this.
Okay, guys. Well, thank you very much. Really, you need to be careful out there.
Hang on, I've got one more.
Stay as warm as you can. Maybe it's time to get to that hotel room. Go ahead.
Keep
Brooke.
them there, Susan, because, I mean, how often do you see, people who drive 8 hours to come to Boston to see the snow? I'm just curious what the first thing they did when they saw the snow. What was the first thing they did? Snowball fights? Snow angels? I don't know.
Absolutely. It was certainly not the not the first time you've seen snow in your lives, of course, but wanted to be part of this experience. So when you saw it really coming down, did you experience whiteout conditions? I mean, what was your reaction when you saw all of this?
It hasn't been so bad so far. We've been to Chicago a couple of years ago, and the blizzard over there, and this is much worse. So far, it's been
Yeah,
really
I think
nice
so.
to see the heavy snow and the wind.
Yeah. And it managed to get into snowball fights or build a snowman as yet?
We're getting there. Yeah, we're going to do that pretty soon. We better watch
Oh, you might have a snowball fight. Wow.
Exactly. All right, guys. Well, thank you very much. Look at this.
We had hail in San Diego.
He's proud where he works. We don't want to say where he's supposed to be today, but in any case, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. All right. That's right. All right. I think we're using anonymous names right now, but we'll just move on.
Hilarious.
Anyway, look.
Go ahead, Susan, button it up for me.
Exactly. But I tell you, as I said, we are lucky that we haven't lost power, but I think the numbers are up to more than 380,000 homes and businesses are without, and that's going to be tough, obviously, as the sun comes up and as it